small stone burner. I work with the Virginia Department of Forestry out of the Charlottesville office. I cover Albemarle and Fluvanna counties. Today we're doing a workshop on directional felling and small woodlot utilization. Basically, this is a very safe, predictable way to cut a tree. By using open face, this is the piece that came out of the face cut on this tree that's behind me. You want at least 70 degrees of angle on that open face. And that allows the tree to pivot all the way to the ground before these two surfaces come together and want to break that hinge. That gives you total control of that tree until the tree hits the ground. It's very, very predictable. As you can see, this doesn't go very deep into the tree, so you're not losing wood. I know a lot of people say, oh, you can't do that because you're going to lose so much of the value of that first log of that tree. You use very little of that first log. What you're looking for is the width across that vertical cut should be 80% of the diameter at breast height. Your second cut is the horizontal cut. The reason you make the vertical cut first is so that you can look into the area where the saw cut out and see when these two come together. It makes it much easier to not bypass cut or put a Dutchman in. So that's the face, and that points the tree in the right direction. That and the hinge that you leave. And as you can see here at the tree, this tree is still attached to the stump even after it hit the ground. So it went exactly where it was aimed. So after you get your face cut set up, then you have to decide how you're going to do your back cut. Well, the safest way to do that is to use what's called the bore cut, where you plunge the bar into the tree, you go all the way through, and then you come to where you've already decided the amount of hinge that you're going to leave. And the hinge should be approximately 10% the diameter at breast height of that tree, DBA. The very first cut that I made was all the way through, and then I pulled my bar back to approximately a half of the tree. And then I came back here and totally took away this half of the tree. And that's by this line right here. That's about where my first cut was. I went to the opposite side of the tree. The tree was leaning heavy on this side. I went to the opposite side of the tree and I came in and made sure that this line was straight right here, just like that. And I came back to this position. So that left all of this. I set a couple of wedges to make sure that the tree wouldn't set down on the saw. And then I took out that part right there and I left that wedge to hold the tree. I cut the saw off, looked around and made sure that the area was clear. The tree is still sitting there because there's no way it can wobble. It's connected all the way across the front and by that part right there. If I wanted to stop and eat lunch, I could have done it. The tree would have sat there until I came back. But we yelled out, "Tree falling," after we found everybody was clear. And I took the saw and made this last bit of cut right here. And as you can see, it's on the ground. One thing that you want to remember anytime that you're cutting a tree, never cut too deep when you first start. When you're making your face cut, you can always take out more wood, but there's no way to put it back once you've made the commitment to cut it out. So you can go back in if you haven't gotten your face cut in exactly the right spot. You can adjust the saw and you can take a little bit more out, but Elmer's glue doesn't hold on a tree. And then the second thing that I always try to tell all of my students is that dead trees are unpredictable trees. A live tree, you can make a very good prediction of where that tree is going to fall. But with a dead tree, not knowing how dead it is, they're really unpredictable. So you need to be on your toes when you're cutting dead trees.